What is up, guys? Wrestling Premier is here. You're probably wondering, once again, 2 days in a row, man, what's wrong with you? It's simple. This one was pretty easy to make, and I thought, you know what, since it didn't win the vote, and I assume it's not going to win the next vote, I'm just going to do it today. Simple as that. Now, I got to explain something. I know that Daniel Bryan in the Miz video won the vote, but someone made a good point in the comment section. He said that this feud may not be over, and I kind of believe him. So, what do you guys think? Should I go through with that video, or should I make something else? If I do make something else, I'm willing to compensate by, I'm asking you guys, what do you want in the comment section below? Just comment what you want. Who knows? Maybe your idea is unique. Your idea is something I forgot about. Just comment it down below, and I'm going to pick one of them. It's going to be the next video. And yeah, it's simple as that. Just comment an idea, and who knows, maybe I like it so much that it'll be the next video. Alright, these three were so damn awesome. Why? They brought a high speed, high flying style to the WWE. They were entertaining, and overall they were just fun to watch. In this video, I cover the Mexicools WWE run. With the gimmick they were given, they managed to get over, and for that, I love them. Like, they rode John Deers to the ring, and it was renamed to Juan Deere. Like, that's all you got, WWE? Come on. You could have hooked them with another gimmick. Now, there's a few reasons as to why this trio didn't succeed in WWE. We'll get to them later on. For right now, let me explain who these guys were. First up is Juventud Guerrera, arguably the most talented from the trio. Maybe you like Super Crazy or Psychosis more. Anyways, Juventud won the WCW Cruiserweight Championship on 3 occasions, and he won a lot of titles in many other promotions. He was a AAA Cruiserweight Champ, IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, the WCW Tag Team Championships with Rey Mysterio Jr. He won gold all over, but he was known, though, to have attitude problems. The most notable incident was when the Juice got arrested in Australia for this. This was when he was in WCW back in 2000. He smoked a joint, apparently, that might have been laced with PCP, and he took off his clothes. He was naked, he ran around the dining room, and no one was able to restrain him. He was shouting that he's gonna die and random stuff. It just wasn't a smart idea to approach him at that moment. But that's what Conan and Finlay tried doing. No one could stop him. It took a phone call to the police by Terry Taylor to stop all of this. And upon hearing this, Hoovy threw some glasses at Taylor. When the police came, they couldn't stop him. This guy, he weighs 165 pounds, and they couldn't stop him. It took 6 police officers to stop the Juice, but even then, he ducked a spray from the police. You know, pepper spray. And it went into the eyes of someone else. He even broke a policewoman's ribs. This has to be one of the most wild stories I've heard of. I seen this a while ago, but I don't remember it being this crazy. Alright, that's enough of the Juice. You know exactly who he is. Let's talk about Psychosis. In the late 90s, Psychosis was one of the best high-flying wrestlers in the world. He had some absolute classics against Rey Mysterio Jr., and he stood out with the high-flying style in the 90s. He also won the WCW Cruiserweight Championship on 2 occasions. And then there's Super Crazy. This guy was underrated. Maybe he could have been better in WWE, but he had some memorable moments. He had some great matches against Tajiri. He won the ECW World Television Championship once, and this was his time to shine. In the biggest promotion of the world, he's getting his chance. I wonder how they were going to utilize these guys. They're going to have him come in and wow everyone with their moves. Oh, they're going to have him come out in lawnmowers. Oh, man, already? On the June 23rd, 2005 episode of SmackDown, the trio came out in a lawnmower during a Cruiserweight title match. They attacked Chavo Guerrero and Paul London, and they hit some unique moves. The Juice grabbed a mic and he said that they're not about the dirty stuff. And then Psychosis said that they have the Mexican limo, that lawnmower, and the Juice promised for things to change. He said that this is their statement, and now things are gonna change. They're tired of working for you, now you're working for us. Because we aren't Mexicans, we are Mexicools. The following week, they came out in John Deere's, and they attacked the same 2 men. They attacked the ref and the timekeeper this time around. Right after the assaults, Juventud spoke on the mic. They introduced themselves to the WWE audience, and the Juice asked the fans to join their revolution. They uttered their catchphrase before leaving. Once again, they interfered in a match the following week. Super Crazy assaulted Matt Morgan with a broomstick. They all hit their respective signature moves on him. And Juvie said that they'll continue making an impact week after week. And when the Juice says so, the Juice makes so. Psychosis said that your asses are grass and we are the lawnmower. Super Crazy reminded everyone that they aren't Mexican, they're Mexicools. They made their debut on the July 14, 2005 episode of SmackDown, facing the team of Funaki, Paul London, and Scotty 2 Hotty. Obviously, that trio failed to beat the Mexicools, but there was, however, one memorable moment during this match. Hoovy went to the top rope and he hit a 450 splash, but his knee landed in London's face, and due to this, he broke London's nose. following this, I don't think they did anything memorable. I mean, they did face the Blue World Order at the Bash, and the trio made fun of the Mexicools by riding big wheels, but other than that, I don't remember much or see much. Remember they sold concessions for some reason. They entered the arena and they handed Cole and Tez some popcorn before throwing a drink onto the referee. They then attacked Scotty and Regal. They poured all the food and drinks all over them. That's one thing I remember. Eventually, a few weeks later, the Mexicools turned face and Juvi won the Cruiserweight Championship at No Mercy. Their first official feud in the WWE would be with Eminem. They won the right to face them at Armageddon, and meanwhile, Kid Cash emerged as a challenger for Juvi's Cruiserweight Championship. At Armageddon, both the tag team match and the Cruiserweight title matches were entertaining, but the Mexicools lost both matches, which meant that the Juice was no longer champ. Just a reminder, Juvi already lost the title previously at a live event to Nunzio, but he recaptured it a few days later. After Armageddon, Juventud was fired from WWE. He had an attitude problem. He claimed he was the Mexican Rock. You know what? Here it is, courtesy of Pro Wrestling Torch and WrestleZone. One of the final straws, so to speak, regarding his status in WWE had to do with the SmackDown TV match taped on January 3rd, airing January 6th, against Kid Cash for the WWE Cruiserweight title. When he was told he was losing the match, he then attempted to take a number of key moves out of the match so that Cash wouldn't kick out of them. During the match, Juventud ended up sandbagging, meaning being uncooperative, and was dead weight for Cash's moves, and he even gave Cash a few stiff shots that many of the WWE agents noticed. When the WWE agents took this up with him, he claimed to be injured. Less than 48 hours later, Vince McMahon made the decision to fire him as he was already down on his attitude and in-ring psychology. The Torch reports that many in WWE described Juventud as an almost delusional, egotistical superstar. It is no secret that he has already had a big ego, as those who are around him noted that he always referred to himself in the third person, always wore dark sunglasses, and acted as if he was on the same level of wrestling stars such as Steve Austin or The Undertaker. To make matters even funnier to some, he felt he was always above some of the newer top stars like Batista and John Cena. His notorious actions caused both Psychosis and Super Crazy to ask WWE management to separate them because they feared they may lose their jobs being associated with him. It should be noted that Psychosis hasn't gotten along with Juventud for years. Some other highlights from his short WWE career included stories that he was overheard telling some passengers on airplanes that recognized him that he was the Rock of Mexico, and that he is now as big as the Rock in the United States. It is no secret The Rock was upset with Juventud using his gestures and moves while he was in WCW. Juventud's response was that he had a right to use them since he was as big as The Rock. One report has stated that Vince McMahon could have pushed Juventud's ego even more based on one story during the Mexicools' first day in the WWE locker room. During a speech addressing the entire roster, McMahon pointed out stating that they looked eager and hungry to be there, and that others should take a cue from their enthusiasm. As a joke, McMahon added in the lines of, "Who knows, maybe someday I'll make Juventud the world champion." Even though it was meant as a joke, Juventud clearly took it to heart, not realizing McMahon's tone and that he was saying a good attitude and eagerness could take you far. Says one wrestler about his release, he probably thinks Triple H or Batista felt threatened by him, and that's why he was fired. He'll never change. Alright, I apologize if this was too long for you. I just had to get the point across that this guy had an ego. Mexican Rock, come on. Like I said, the reason why he was fired is because he was delivering banned moves without permission and a lot of things. It was attitude and all this. They weren't having it, and following Juvi's release, the Mexicools didn't do much. On the June 9, 2006 episode of SmackDown, the Mexicools, Psychosis, and Super Crazy were confronted by the Great Khali. Psychosis left his partner high and dry, opting not to fight. Super Crazy confronted Psychosis on this the following week, but Psychosis assured him that he's on his side. They came out to the ring and it seemed like the duo were on the same page, but once again during the match, Psychosis ditched Super Crazy. Things would come to a head on the following week's SmackDown, as it seemed like the Mexicools were on the verge of capturing the tag team titles, but Psychosis decided to tag himself in. Kendrick evaded the leg drop and he went for the cover, and they lost. Super Crazy had enough and he assaulted Psychosis right after the match. These two once again brawled the following week, and this led to a matchup between the two on the July 21st, 2006 episode of SmackDown. This ended up being Psychosis' final appearance in WWE. He lost to Super Crazy, and that's the Mexicools. Psychosis would be released 4 months later for the most bizarre reasons. Now, this is what I found out. In Mexico, Psychosis stole a black Mitsubishi vehicle by pulling out a gun wrapped in a towel. Then he was chased by the police and he crashed into a few cars. Once the police captured Psychosis, it was revealed that the gun he used to steal the car was just a water gun. And it's such an unfortunate turn of events, but hey, at least he's doing well now. Anyways, the Mexicools in WWE were a disappointment. They were initially brought in to help with the revamped Cruiserweight division, but after someone decided to go with the Juniors division, The trio were just there. It was like the plans were scrapped. Super Crazy would continue to compete as a lower card superstar up until November, I believe, of 2008 when he was released. One thing that's great about the Mexicools is the fact that despite being underutilized, they managed to connect with the crowd, so for that alone, I consider their run in WWE to be decent. Decent in connection with the crowd. It's simple as that. Other than that, they were heavily, and I mean heavily, underutilized. I'm not expecting Super Crazy to win the world title, but at least let him do something in the ring. Anyways, that's it for this video. Who do you guys want me to cover next in these kinds of short videos? Jimmy Wang Yang, Jesse and Festus, Eugene Chuck Palumbo, the Hard Dynasty, Deuce and Domino. Now, I didn't include Kendrick and London because that deserves to be a standalone video that's like 15 or 20 minutes. So it's not just going to be bonus content like this one. Eminem too. And that's it for this video. Make sure you hit a like drop on the like button and perhaps a moonsault on the subscribe button. Peace. I'm out.